What's happening, guys? And no, you haven't gone back into the past. This is another video in 2 days about the community map project, but for good reason, okay? I released my video yesterday talking about the community map project and the progress, and then obviously, a couple of hours later, it got updated again. So I think it's only right that I update you on some of the changes, because there's been some really cool changes to it, as well as some other interesting CTE changes as well. But let's get into the community map project first. This phase of the map project is now into production, and what they're doing is they're now building around the flags and sort of getting the identity of the map, and that means that some cool things have been added. Firstly, around Objective B, they've now developed this into something much cooler than it was before. It's now been developed into a temple, some ruins if you like, that sits directly underneath the waterfall, and I think it already looks good, but can you imagine this when it's all textured and all the objects are put in? I think this part of the map will look incredible, and that's something you got to bear in mind. I mean, the textures obviously aren't in, but there's a lot of detailing that won't be in. This is very, very early build, but this particular flag is turning out to be one of my favorites. I like very much how this looks, and they've also added in some mist and thicker water as well to kind of enhance the experience, as well as adding in some paths here and there, and they've also tweaked some of the roads as well. Next, on to Objective E, which is the plantation, as it's called. Now, not much has gone on here, but they have added some trees, some extra cover as well. And that's one of the things you'll notice around the map now. There's a lot more rocks and structures that have been added in to kind of like now start building up the map. Now the scale's good. They're building it up, they're adding pathways, they're adding roads, they're adding some rocks and covers. And E hasn't changed a drastic amount, but there's a few more things here for cover and some trees, although they need to be a little bit less linear, I think, the trees. But E is now starting to take shape as well. Then we move on to the medical clinic. Now, what this is essentially going to be, this is going to be a clinic where a biological weapon has been tested, and there are some indigenous monkeys that were used as test subjects, and they breached the facility, and they've left it in a horrible state of disarray. Yeah. So that's what this is going to be. Now, right now, the buildings, they're generic buildings that you've seen in lots of other Battlefield 4 maps, Paracel Storm, Propaganda. They've been in those maps. I'm not sure whether they're going to use the same buildings or whether they're just placeholders, or whether they're going to develop their own sort of medical building to go here. I don't know. Either way, this could be a cool little area if they develop the inside of the buildings, some testing areas. This could be pretty cool. I mean, I like the idea of how this can take shape. And then the logging camp, which is flag D. That's had a little bit more done to it. There's a crane there now, some more logs to give some more cover, and that's just been developed slightly, not that much. Objective C, which is the ghost town, hasn't really been changed that much. There are a few more structures here and there, but other than that, that's pretty much remained intact for now. But they've focused on building up the areas of the map and giving them all a theme, and as I say, they've added in some roads and some paths and things like that, and it's really starting to take shape. Now, it's not just the CMP that I want to talk about, though, because there's some utterly fantastic news coming out of the CTE last night. Currently in the CTE, being tested only on some servers are 60 Hz and 120 Hz tick rates. You heard it. I'm not shitting with you. 60 and 120 Hz servers are currently being tested in the CT. Now, this footage you're seeing right now is from 60 Hz, but I have played on the 120 Hz, and I can tell you that it feels amazing. It is the future. What this is a tick rate that the server operates at. So the animations, the physics, all the updates to and from the server, all those will run at that tick rate. So the animations will be better. Where the player actually is will be reported much, much more accurately. Obviously, as well as the hit reg, things like being shot round cover should improve drastically as well. This is a massive thing for the Battlefield franchise. They said it couldn't be done. You know, when people were complaining about the low tick rate, they said it can't be done. Well, here it is. It can be done. It's important to say right now, though, just because it's in the CTE does not mean it will make it into the normal game, because right now it's being tested. It might be tested and they say, look guys, this just is too buggy. or it takes too much performance to work. We don't know. As I say, right now it's being tested. But the fact that it's being tested and I can jump onto a server with 60, 120 hertz, that in itself is fantastic. Before I go, I just want to mention one thing. There is a Battlefield community event going on this evening. It is YouTubers Versus. It's been arranged by Battlefield Experience. Go check him out on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description. There's lots of YouTubers doing it. Myself, Ghost Gaming, Westy, Birdu, Dolce potentially. I mean, there's so many to name. I'm going to miss people out if I carry on. But the bottom line is it's going to be a great event. And I'm going to record it. I'm not going to stream it tonight. I'm going to record it and probably put it up on the channel tomorrow. But a couple of people will be streaming it. I think Battlefield Experience himself, as well as Ghost Gaming, they're going to be streaming it. So check those guys out if you really want to check out the event tonight, because I think it's going to be good. And hopefully we'll get more of these events down the line. So check that out. So thanks for listening to me rabbit on. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.